Summer is flying by, and we're filling hours with local adventures.
We love taking you along, but we hope you've gotten a chance to get out and visit some of the places we've told you about.
Welcome to Talk of the Town, everyone. This month, we fight zombies and defy gravity in some virtual reality games.
We visit the site of the nation's first roller coaster. Would you believe it's in Summit Hill?
Household hacks can make your life a little easier if you find the good ones. We go on a search.
It got pretty hot outside, so wine drinks at a local winery sounded pretty good to us.
And Zack built a new deck. What a great excuse for a grilling segment.
But first, is it possible to grow an English cottage garden in the Poconos?
You bet it is. You may recognize the name Pamela Hubbard. She's a Penn State master gardener and writes a monthly piece on gardening for the Pocono Record.
Pam moved from England in 1978. She and her husband, Dwayne, started gardening in the year 2000 at their 42-acre homestead in Effort. It's called Astolat Farm, and it's been in her husband's family since the 1940s.
My dream being to create an English cottage garden like the one my dad and mom had and my grandmother had. Creating an English cottage garden in the Poconos is not like creating one in England. It's so fraught with challenges. Any path you should take should have a destination. Every English cottage garden has a bird cage with an ivy in it. I don't know why, but
you have one.
So Dwayne found me the bird cage. An English cottage garden is planted for abundance. You have an abundance of each type of flower, and they're basically very common flowers.
Flowers like echinacea, bee balm, daylilies, and the more traditional delphinium, roses, and of course, hollyhocks.
And the hollyhocks are
Beautiful.
And I've all different colors. One of the things I do every morning is I deadhead the flowers. I'm going to show you how I do that. But I never deadhead the hollyhocks because I want the seeds to drop and get more of it, because it's biennial. It needs to drop seeds, otherwise I won't get flowers every year. When I say plant for abundance, you plant close together. People think that I have no space between the plants. That's not true. There has to be an air circulation around plants. So I make sure I mulch around each individual plant has got its own little space. We have a water garden, as you can see. Not necessarily an English tradition, though, to have a pond in your garden.
It's nice that you mixed the traditions, though.
Yeah.
You did your own English garden.
Yeah.
There's a lot of work here, I can tell, and to make it look pretty all the time, there's work you have to do in the garden pretty much almost every day, right?
Yes. So I start every day with a cup of coffee in my hand and walk around every bed and garden. The first thing I do when it's needed is water. We practice sustainable gardening here. We actually have 5 rain barrels in this garden. My husband and I, we're the perfect team for this garden because he doesn't know anything about the plants, but he's the best hole digger, the best compost shoveler, and every night when there's no rain in the forecast, I have a dozen or so water cans. He fills them all with water and places them around the beds. And then I go round and I deadhead with a daylily. You snap it off below the little seed part. You don't want the seed part to stay on because otherwise it's going to do its energy making seed instead of flowering. And one of the reasons we're deadheading is because that promotes more flowers.
More flowers.
And that's the way you get more flowers. You know why they're called daylilies, right?
Because they only last about a day.
Each bloom lives for one day only.
Yes.
So daylilies have to be deadheaded every single day.
If you're going to get the most flowers.
Yes. Dude, Billy, come on. the miniature horse.
And Billy with an itchy
Billy,
back.
who is supposed to be a pygmy goat, but something went wrong.
Something was terribly
He's
wrong.
fatter than the horse.
If you had Billy out there, don't you think you eat a lot of your
He
plants?
has escaped.
Yes.
He has escaped.
And has he eaten stuff that you
He
did
has
not want him
eaten
to eat?
stuff, and he's not easy to catch. There's a group called Cares in Lehighton, but they come out on a Monday morning and they groom Dude for me, and they help me in the garden. They'll
That's
water,
awesome.
they'll pick the vegetables, they'll plant. So I really depend on them all summer for my help. I call this garden Serenity, even though it's so close to the road. It really is very serene. The vertical aspect is really important. In
Higher
England, they have very small backyards.
They need to
And so
maximize.
they go up because they don't have the room to go out.
Pam, I notice as we, like a theme going through, and I don't know if it has to do with English gardening or just pleasing to the eye, how everything has curves and swoops to it as opposed to hard corners.
That is English style. I don't do very much in the woodland walk because we have a visitor who's becoming far too frequent.
It gets close too, right?
Yeah,
A
it's
big visitor?
a black bear. I had a beautiful hummingbird feeder up there, one of those glass pretty ones, and he broke it, drank the nectar. But I left the paw print. It's like a conversation piece at my house now. This is my 5th garden. It's the kitchen garden.
Which means there's food in here?
A lot.
Maybe.
That's important. If you're going to garden, you might as well have
Yes.
food, right?
I have lots of flowers on the cucumbers.
Yep.
And they're very important to English people, you know, with cucumber sandwiches.
Wait, I think I just saw a bunny rabbit.
Yes.
In here?
Yes, and look how the beans have all disappeared, at least 2 squares.
The bunnies ate them?
That's that bunny who lives
He's
in
right
here.
Yeah, he's right over there.
What's his name? He looks like Bernie. Bernie the bunny rabbit.
His name is Nuisance.
Nuisance.
Pam extends her gardening season as long as she can, so we helped plan some of her beds for a second harvest. You can plant as late as September 1st.
But you usually plant brassicas like cabbage, kale,
So your super early spring things you can do again.
yes, peas you can plant,
Stuff that can handle the cold.
anything that can handle the cold. I do a method of gardening called square foot gardening. And you'll notice I'm just getting a bed ready. I took compost and put a layer of compost on there. The book, Square Foot Gardening, is my Bible for this. If you're doing cabbage,
Yep.
it's basically 1 for each square.
1 for each square.
And the same with the Brussels sprouts.
We take direction well.
Don't you? I'm very impressed. We're going to be planting beets, the large ones, and it's telling you 9 seeds in each square.
In each square.
3. Now in England, this would be called a dibber.
A dibber?
And you can actually buy a tool called a dibber just to do this. But I use any bit of a stick I can find for my dibber. Okay, so it's 1 in each, and then just cover them
There's
over.
a lot of seeds, though. And it doesn't matter what you put next to each other?
No, not in a square foot garden, because they're only taking nourishment from that area. When you know that you're going to have frost, you're going to have to protect them.
Yes.
Right.
And I do that with row covers. And then I use fleece. It lets the light in, it lets the rain in, and it protects from the frost.
Can that keep the critters out too? Will your
Yes.
bunny rabbits stay out?
So,
And insects.
yes, and we have cabbage under here, so it's a good idea with the bunny rabbits. When we get the frosts, it will protect the plants down to 28 degrees. Because we plant at the beginning of September, by the time the temperature goes below that, we've probably harvested the plants anyway.
Yeah.
And I just have one more garden to show you, and I'm kind of glad in a way we left it till the end, because it was where my gardening really started. At the side of the house and the front of the house, I planted containers. And you can do that with vegetables or anything.
You know, a lot of people don't think they can do this because they don't have a green thumb.
I don't believe in green thumbs. I'll tell you why. I probably killed more plants than I've grown. I'm not successful with everything I planned. So, you know, people should not be afraid to just try to do it, you know. And nowadays we have Google. You can find
Google anything.
Google anything.
But when you Google anything to do with gardening, anything to do with planting, always write extension before your question, and you will get the papers from the Master Gardener Extensions and the land grant colleges that tell you the right answer.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people out there who think they know the answer.
Like anything else you Google.
Like anything else you Google. Marie and Kim, it's been such a pleasure showing you my garden today.
And they're so beautiful.
Very much, and so much work. Thank you.
You're very welcome. I've so enjoyed it, but you can't leave.
We can't, can we?
An English cottage garden and an English household without having some English tea.
It wouldn't be proper.
It would not be proper. You're right. So I made you some scones. We're going to have scones and cream and jelly. Cheers.
Bon appetit.
Pam shares her gardens with visitors by appointment. She also maintains a garden blog and is working on a book.
She'd like to share her gardening Bible, All New Square Foot Gardening by Mel Bartholomew, with one lucky winner.
Just visit our Facebook page, like the proper photo, and tell us your favorite part of this segment for a chance to win. Good luck.
Next, we visit a gravity railroad that carried the nation's first roller coaster.
This month, we get moving with a hike along the Switchback Trail.
Lots of people hike and bike the path that was once home to the Switchback Gravity Railroad.
The rail cars would bring coal from the mines and even people on a wild downhill journey to Jim Thorpe.
The railroad tracks are gone now, but the history remains.
The Switchback was the first railroad to carry coal, and it was the first railroad to carry people. Well, tourists were coming to Mauch Chunk as soon as the coal mines were opened. Josiah White wanted to bring people into town because he wanted to get investors for the Lehigh Coal and Navigation Company. So they brought people to visit the mines. Well, as soon as the railroad went into effect, people wanted to ride on the railroad, and they allowed that, and that lasted from 1827 until the 1930s.
When you enter Mauch Chunk Lake Park in Jim Thorpe, you can't miss two replica Switchback railroad cars at the entrance to the Switchback Trail. They represent the heyday of coal and our country's first thrill ride.
Been designated by the Smithsonian Institution as the first roller coaster in America. It was gravity driven, and it was a downhill ride, and on some of the levels, mainly coming from Summit Hill down, they could get it up to 60 miles an hour. The big danger was, of course, not to overcome another car ahead of it, or a passenger car or a coal car.
Can you imagine the liability today? Saying, we're going to let everybody jump in this car and zoom down to Jim Thorpe.
Right, and you know, there's this myth that there was never an accident on the Switchback Railroad, but there were very, very many accidents on the railroad. In fact, one of the worst accidents in July of 1885, the next day they were saying there was never an accident on the railroad. But, you know, back then society wasn't so litigious. And so they really had an ingenious arrangement. The actual cars were in trains, and they would have a man sitting in the middle car of the train, and he had in front of him a board with metal pegs. And there were chains that went to the brakes on each of these cars, and he could control the amount of tension on these brakes on the individual cars. And so they tried to regulate the speed so that they wouldn't catch up with the cars in front of them. Because again, you know, if there were terrible accidents at that speed, you know, hitting another car in front of you or an animal on the track, there were cows that would cross the track and all that. People would get mangled limbs, severed limbs, sometimes even death.
Vince Hydro is a local historian and published author. He wrote The Mauch Chunk Switchback, America's Pioneer Railroad. He, like many, credit the Mauch Chunk area, now known as Jim Thorpe, as the birthplace of our country's Industrial Revolution.
Some historians say that Mauch Chunk and the Switchback and the Lehigh Canal were the instigation of the Industrial Revolution in America. It all happened here in the Lehigh Valley. And that was because of iron and the fact that they learned how to smelt iron with anthracite coal, which was discovered in Summit Hill. Previous to that, they were smelting iron with wood, and all the forests were getting denuded, so they had to have a switch. And that, luckily for us, anthracite had been discovered here, and these Philadelphia Quakers, Josiah White and Erskine Hazard, put tremendous amounts of personal finance and energy into creating the Lehigh Navigation, the Switchback Railroad.
As technology improved, coal depended less on the gravity-driven railroad, but tourists clung to the edge of their seats, excited for their roller coaster ride.
So until 1872, this railroad carried both coal and people. Then in 1872, what they call the Hotto Tunnel from the Panther Valley to Hotto, that tunnel was completed, and the coal was taken out of the valley then on railroads only. And the Switchback became only a people mover at that point. And it ran from 1872 until the 1930s hauling people. In the 1880s, believe it or not, Mauch Chunk and the Switchback competed with Niagara Falls for the number of tourists. So we were like neck and neck. And there were times when 5,000 to 10,000 people would be coming into town on a single day, especially for the autumn leaf excursions.
The rails were pulled up in 1937 due to the Great Depression and our country converting to automobiles. Today, some sections of the trail are popular for hiking and biking, but other areas need attention. Fortunately, the Carbon County Commissioners have taken an interest in the Switchback.
Take care of some of the ruts, some of the washouts, and do some things, try to get the water off the trail so that it maybe will hold up for a longer time, and through the years we may not have to do a whole lot of maintenance, but initially get it into condition where people can hike, bike, walk, and do whatever they want to do without the exposure of getting hurt. I think we ought to tell the story of the railroad along the trail and give people something to do, to stop and take a break, maybe put some benches, and we'll have to look at the areas where there may be some room for that. But we can make it really nice and an attractive part of the entire trail system and outdoor recreation system that Carbon County has to offer.
The county commissioners have even come up with an idea on how to fund the improvements on the Switchback Trail.
We charge to park in downtown Jim Thorpe, and that's not taxpayers' money, that is assessed on their real estate. So that money is kind of fluid. We can use that for a lot of things, and I think it makes sense that the people who are coming here to park here and paying here to park here are giving us money to improve what we have here, whether it's the lot or the trails or anything like that. So there are some options there.
Something that we're at the very beginning stages of, first like making sure you don't lose what you have, but this could be going years and years and years and years till you make it what you really see.
Yeah, Maria, it'll probably be a work in progress. That'll take several years. Let's at least make it safe, and that's the first step. It's a baby step, but we think it's the right step, and we think it's a good step that will start getting more people to say, they fixed that up, let's go use it.
Still to come on Talk of the Town, we beat the heat with some cool drinks from Galen Glen Winery. Kim, the temperatures are hitting 90 degrees today.
I guess that's why they call these the dog days of summer. Sometimes on a day like this, the best thing to do is just sit back and relax.
Well, that's why we're at Galen Glen Winery in Andrews. You'll be surprised what they're serving up to stay cool.
Galen Glen Winery is 22 years old. There are 20 acres of vines, and last year they harvested 90 tons of grapes.
The most important part is growing the grapes. We're off to a good start, but it's not how the season starts, it's how it ends. So we're waiting to see what will come through August, and particularly hurricane season. That's when we're watching the weather really closely, because that's when the grapes are reaching their final stages, they're getting ripe, and they don't need a whole lot of water. And something like a hurricane could really change our harvest pattern.
Well, they are still hard at work outside, but we've come inside where we have someone that you really have to meet. This is Kathy Matson, the tasting manager at Galen Glen. You are the one who gives us all these drinks, right?
Yep, that's my job, to ensure everybody has a great visit when they come here to the winery.
That's a good job.
Yeah, it's a great job.
And we're gonna make like 3 different drinks, and the first one is a flashback to the 80s.
That's right, that's right. This is our 80s wine cooler. So, you know, picture Bartles and James, Bruce Willis, all your favorite 80s things.
We were there.
Yeah, no Aquanet.
No Aquanet today.
So we're gonna make an 80s wine cooler. We're using our Gruner Veltliner wine. This is an Austrian grape. We actually pioneered planting in the United States back in 2003. I'm going to use it in this quick little pitcher here. So we're going to do 8 ounces of the wine, and then we need to do 1 ounce each of lemon and lime juice. So this is a really quick recipe. And then on top of that, we're going to add 1 ounce of pineapple and 1 ounce of pink grapefruit. Give that a quick little stir, and then we add about 12 ounces of soda, or lemon lime soda, lemon lime seltzer. I'm feeling a little calorie conscious today, so we went with the seltzer.
The seltzer.
Yeah, so we can do
Not quite as sweet that way either. That's good.
exactly. I don't want to think back on all the calories I consumed in the 80s, you know?
Drinking wine coolers?
Drinking wine coolers and all kinds of other things, right? Add a little bit more, and we have ourselves a 1980s wine cooler. That quick and that fast. And the great thing is, all the folks who are watching today can get the recipe right on our website.
Awesome.
So under recipes, which is great. Yeehaw, time for wine coolers.
Wow, it does kind of have that smell of an 80s wine cooler.
Start singing some Billy Idol songs.
Taking us back to our college days.
Yes.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, I'm in college. All right, sangria is next,
Sangria is next. So sangria is super easy recipe. To make the best sangria, I do recommend starting a few hours before your party.
Okay.
To let your wine and your fruit blend together a little bit. So
Like a mingle.
we're gonna do the speedy sangria today. So juice a lemon. They match your dress, they look great.
Kind of lemony today.
Yes, exactly. And then the oranges, and we'll just give them a quick squeeze. So you do a lemon and an orange, it's that simple. We do it with our cellar red wine, and our cellar red is Chambourcin grape, a grape that grows very well in this area. But no oak on the Chambourcin. You could do it with an oaked wine, but then you generally have to add sugars and things like that to the sangria to make
sweeten it a little bit.
And this is going to be the easiest recipe you've ever made in your life, because you pretty much juice your fruit, throw it into the pitcher, and then open up your ginger ale and pour in about 2 cups. So if you were making it at home and you were making it for a party, I would say do the fruit and the wine together, let them sit for a few hours, and then right before you serve it, add your 2 cups of ginger ale.
All right, cheers.
Oh, that's really good.
Yes.
Really light,
Delicious.
easy.
Nice and fruity,
Yeah.
but I could see how it would be even better if you let it sit.
Yeah, and you get that the more of the flavor of the lemon and orange
Yeah,
in
and
there.
you think about having a glass of wine usually at the end of the day. Like you could do this anytime.
Exactly, exactly. Poolside, you know, a really nice drink.
Poolside, what a
Poolside.
great idea. Now it's time to bring in the blender and make up a slushie.
We have them every weekend here at the winery.
Nice.
All through the end of summer, and we do different flavors each weekend. Today we're making peach Bellini flavor. It's actually one of my favorites. So I'm going to ask if you'll open the packet of mix, and we do sell these mixes right in our tasting room. And we're going to put half the packet, so there's really nothing technical or chemistry involved here.
peachy.
It's very peachy.
Half of it, huh?
Yeah.
Half the package.
Think of it like pixie sticks for grown-ups.
It's kind of what it looks like.
And then, Marie, I'm going to have you put about half a bottle of wine in.
Smells peachy.
Now, one of my tricks for making these really, really good is to actually blend this part first before we add ice. And we just use a traditional blender like you'd have at home. All right. So now we add the ice, and this is what gives us that slushy, icy, wonderful flavor. And just watch sure you don't splash yourself. And we have slushies.
Slushies.
All right.
Looks good.
Here we go.
amazing.
Peach Bellini wine slushies.
Oh my.
No calories if you drink them standing up.
That's a lie, and I know it.
Cheers for the third time.
Oh, these would be dangerous.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
Wow. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Just drink them all. We're going to stay a while.
Okay, good.
So, Kathy, what are your hours here?
Our hours here are Wednesday through Sunday. Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday, 12 to 5. Fridays until the end of August, we're open from 12 to 8. Saturdays, 11 to 5. And on Friday nights, we have special things. Look at our website or our Facebook page. Sometimes food trucks. Sometimes we have a massage therapist here offering chair massages.
Wow.
You know, it's your
After a
ultimate
long
time to
week.
relax. Exactly.
It's a beautiful, peaceful spot. You can bring a little picnic lunch, get a glass of wine, and just enjoy maybe being unplugged. Everywhere today, there's so much going on and so many things to be catching your attention. Coming here, it's quiet, it's peaceful, it's a chance to reconnect, maybe have a nice visit with girls or the guys or whoever you want to bring here.
Kathy and Sarah would love for you to visit Galen Glen. One lucky viewer can win a free wine tasting for 2 and 2 German crystal wine glasses. Just tell us your favorite summer wine drink for a chance to win. Good luck.
There are plenty of tricks to help with common everyday problems. Stick around. We test out some household hacks next. It's always great when you find little tricks that make life easier.
Well, nowadays they call those household hacks.
They might have been things that our grandmas did, but we kind of forgot about.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Some of them for sure. Well, we're gonna start in the kitchen with some lemons.
Okay.
Now, this hack is called the way to get more juice out of your lemon by sticking it in the microwave so that it's not cold. Apparently, when it's been warmed up a little bit, you get more juice from a lemon.
All right, well, I like to roll them, so I don't use the microwave, so I wouldn't do that. I'll just roll mine. We can check how they do.
We'll see whose does better. Rolling, you roll for 15 seconds, okay?
Yep. I don't know, it's feeling pretty pulverized in the middle. How's yours?
It's a little warm. So let's see which lemon, and they're approximately the same size, our lemons too, so for scientific purposes, it's good to know that.
As scientific as we can possibly be.
And we have the same cup. All right, let's see the side-by-side test.
Side by side. Looks to me like you're a little, they're pretty close.
I think I have
Maybe
a little
teeny bit more. So I'm gonna continue to not use the microwave.
But if you really want to get as much juice as possible, this hack actually worked.
It is always a pain to peel garlic.
It sure is. Okay, this next hack requires you just to pull it apart and throw it in a bowl.
All right, it's there. Is it gonna clean itself?
We're gonna find out. According to the hack, all you have to do is put it in a sealable container and shake.
That seems a little too good to be true.
It says shake vigorously.
For how long?
I don't know, you try. Shake.
I'm very skeptical.
Me too, but let's open it up. It says it may take 2 times to do it. You go in and you pull out.
Some of it
The
came off,
peels.
but that was the easy stuff.
Yeah, that was the easy stuff. So there's still some skin on those garlic pieces, so let's...
More vigorously.
I don't know how long you have to shake vigorously.
2 hours.
If you've had a rough week,
Get some of the stress out.
get some of the stress out. Here, your turn.
cooked, but I just don't know that it's going to be clean enough to not still have to peel somewhere. So.
Oh, I don't know. There's some pieces here that
This one is not suitable.
no, but these two are good, and this is another one.
So maybe if we did this for another hour, maybe it would.
Well, I'd say 2 times got rid of a lot of the garlic.
All right.
Peels.
So not bad, not horrible.
Not a bad hack.
Not at least to start, and maybe then you just clean the rest by hand.
If you need to separate the egg yolk from the egg white, we've got a hands-free, no gooky hands kind of a hack. We'll see if it works. So you can crack your egg first, Ree.
All right.
Nice. Now you're supposed to take a bottle, and we have 2 different bottles here. This is kind of a newer, very thin plastic. I wouldn't try this.
I think you need some suction. I think this is going to have some
And all
suction.
you do is put it over the yolk, squish it in first, set it on that yolk, and let it, oh, look at how good that did.
Wow, that was perfect. That was really easy. Look at that.
That was a very good one. All right, we'll try it with the not so great plastic bottle and see if that works as well. All right, don't know if it will, but let's see.
Oh yeah.
Oops, came back out though. Yeah, so even with
yeah,
not so great plastic, you can separate your eggs.
nice. Very
This
good.
hack worked.
We can make meringue.
Now we're in Zack's car.
Hi,
Zack.
Well, we are always going to new places.
And we always need directions.
That's right. And if you get them on your phone, you have to keep your phone hands-free, keep your eyes on the road. So this is a great hack for that.
Old hair twisty.
Okay. Tweezers.
Tweezers, the only tool you need.
All right. Air vents.
Slide it through the little air vent. Use your tweezers to pick it up.
Here you go.
Okay.
Now we got some loops.
Loops. Just slide your phone into the loops. And look at that, hands-free.
Hands-free. Drive directions are right there.
I like this one.
Me too.
Since we both love shoes, we decided to try this hack. I don't know if it will work or not.
I don't either.
All right, so you take a Ziploc bag, and if you've got a pair of shoes that are just a little snug and you want to stretch them a bit, you fill it with water. These are Marie's shoes, so you can tell how tiny they are. So it didn't take a whole lot of water.
We're gonna stretch the toes a little. I don't know. This one, I don't know if this one's gonna work. And we're not gonna be able to wait around to find out, because the next thing you do is stick this in the freezer and let the water expand as it turns into ice and stretch out your shoe. That's the premise, right?
You'll have to try it yourself and let us know if it works for you.
Yeah. Everyone has extension cords at home and they get out of control.
That's right, and you've got a toilet paper roll here, and a lot of people think that's a good way to store your extension cords.
I don't know, it's a pain in the butt.
You managed to get it
All
in.
right, it's there.
But, you know, most of us have corks laying around. And this is a cool hack. So you need a cork, and you can use twine, but, you know, since we like pretty things, we're using pink ribbon.
I think this is like flip-flop ribbon.
Exactly. All right, so you just jab the cork and push. You have to have a heavy-duty needle and push it through.
That's pretty good.
Okay, then you have to go back through the other side. So far, so good.
So far, so good.
Okay, now we've got our ribbon through both sides. Now, take that off of there, Marie.
After all that work.
After all that work. So now what you do is you take your ribbon, wrap it around with your cork, and you're gonna tie that off before we cut it. We're gonna tie it in a knot so that we don't mess it up. And cut off too much, you know how that works.
Yep.
I like the pretty pink ribbon.
Me too.
Looks good on cork. I noticed you have a lot of these corks, Marie.
I've saved them for years and years.
Sure you have. Snip it off. And since this is a smaller extension cord, you just kind of pull it and tighten it down to the way you want it to be.
And it's under control.
I like this hack.
Yep.
And it's something to do with all your hundreds of corks.
I don't have that many extension cords.
We all have one of those dresses that's just a little bit hard to zip.
This is one of mine.
Well, this is a cool hack, and all you need is a piece of ribbon and a safety pin. Now, I recommend one of the heavier duty safety pins.
Big safety pin.
Big safety pin, real simple, just jab it through a ribbon. You hook it onto the back of your zipper.
And at this point, it would be unzipped.
Unzip.
All right. So
And then when it's on behind you,
I need my ribbon.
here's your ribbon. All right, Marie, zip your dress. Now, wait a second.
It might be easier when it's on your body.
Yeah, it became unhooked. So let's try it one more time. All right, we won't try and put it behind you now. We'll just put it, pretend it's on. Oh.
This hack is not good. Well, actually, this is an interesting zipper though, because a lot of times zippers have the hole down here. And if the hole was here, I bet you it would make a difference. Don't you think?
I don't know. Oh, yeah, so I guess it works.
It works, it's just you might have to play with it a little bit.
You might have to. But if you're getting dressed alone, it's not a bad tip.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, okay. This is our final household hack, and I've actually tried this one before.
Okay, does it work?
It does, actually. My wedding ring, I wear it all the time, so I've got lotion. Sometimes you look at it and you go, oh boy.
Ugh, clean that thing.
So that happened to me recently, and of course you don't travel with jewelry cleaner, at least I don't. So I tried something that I had seen, just a little bit of toothpaste, and I put it right on my ring. That might be a little too much toothpaste. Get it a little bit wet. And here's a cool thing, you use a toothbrush. I have an electric toothbrush, and this one, I'm about ready to toss this. So
you can clean your ring with it.
And then toss it. Don't use it again. So you just turn it on.
That ring never had it so good. Minty fresh.
Minty fresh and sparkly.
Some of you have been asking, how are the Pachysandra you dug up at Kim's house and planted at Zack's?
We dug about 100 holes that day. Take a look.
So Zack, last summer we were here. We helped you with this project on your bank.
Helped you did all the work.
We did a lot of the work with you, but you helped.
Yeah.
How is it a year later?
So a year later, you can see that it's grown in some. Some of the plants have doubled in size, and they're sending out shoots and runners. Since last year, all I've done is weeded maybe twice, and it's really taken care of itself and grown on its own.
So that makes you happy, right?
It makes me really happy. A neighbor was cutting some Pachysandra out of his yard and offered it to me the other day, and I said, you know what, I don't want to do any more planting. I'll just let this do its thing.
As long as you're patient, I think a few more years, I think you're going to see kind of like what your neighbors have.
Yeah, I hope so. That's what I'm looking forward to.
This time of year, it's all about outdoor entertaining.
So we decided to visit the biggest foodie we know,
who just so happens to have a brand new deck.
I brought the drinks.
And I've got dessert.
Zack, we're here!
Welcome to the deck, brand new. I love to grill out on it, already been grilling most nights. So let's get going.
What are we making?
We're gonna make some whole grain mustard marinated chicken and some asparagus and zucchini, a couple of really simple things to do on the grill that I like to do very often.
All right, healthy.
Yes, very healthy, absolutely. Okay, first thing we wanna do is start the grill.
All right.
So Kim, come on over, turn that front burner handle to the left, and hit the ignition button once. Good, open up the grill and it should be on.
There
we go. Turn the other burners on to high, and we can shut the lid.
Let it cook
Let it burn off a little bit.
Yeah, let it come up to temperature so that we're ready to cook.
All right.
Now,
Zucchini, asparagus, yum.
Yeah.
let's prep the vegetables.
Okay. Zucchini.
Zucchini, we'll cut a little bit off the stem and off the bottom.
And I understand you have something special you do with the butt end of the zucchini.
I'm getting rid of the yucky part. There's the good part.
Josie. Do you like zucchini?
Ooh, she says yes, yes, yes. All right, so how am I cutting this, Zach? How do you like it? Little circle, little
I like to go
points?
lengthwise.
Lengthwise, okay.
And then flip the 2 halves down and go lengthwise again. Because that's easy to handle on the grill then.
All right, just
Perfect.
like that. Yeah.
That's
One more.
Josie! Oh, there you go.
Healthy eating dog.
She loves her vegetables.
Now we're putting these on the
All
foil.
right, yep, you can clear those off the cutting board. We're gonna move the asparagus over. And asparagus is so easy, we just need to cut the
little
woody
ends
base off.
But I'm lefty. It's on the wrong side. Oh, we're getting it on your new deck there, Zach.
It's okay, Josie will clean up.
Lots of yummy veggies.
And what do you do with them next, Zach? Brush them with the oil?
Next we want olive oil on them. Use our little crazy hair brush man. And just try to get a layer of olive oil onto everything. And then we hit them with some salt and cracked pepper.
So it's just real simple grilled veggies.
Very simple. Now that the grill is up to temperature, we are ready to add everything to the heat.
Now this looks delicious, what you marinated here.
Yeah, Zach, talk about this marinated chicken. What did you put in here?
Sure. It's a 1/4 cup of cider vinegar, 3 tablespoons of whole grain mustard, 3 cloves of garlic minced, a lime, a half a lemon, a half cup of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 6 tablespoons of olive oil, ground black pepper, and then I have 6 boneless, skinless chicken breasts in there.
And you did this yesterday, so it's been swimming in here for about 24 hours,
Yep,
right?
marinated overnight.
Overnight, okay, cool.
Sounds amazing. All right, well, here goes.
Here goes.
Chicken right on.
The way they're immediately sizzling is good. That means that the grill is up to
hot
temperature.
How long are these chicken going to cook?
I'd say like maybe 4 minutes on the first side, 3 or 4 on the second side. Depends upon how quickly we get those veggies on, because we won't put them on at the same time. You can take them with your hands and just put them right on the grill.
This way?
Yeah, that's why I like
Or
to start the
downside?
zucchini. I started skin side down.
Skin side down?
Yeah, just
Get
because
it softened
it'll
up a
kind of
little.
roast some and then I turn a little later. And the asparagus, again, you want to go perpendicular because you don't want to lose them between the grill.
Good idea.
It can all just get piled and heaped and everything will shrink and shrivel as it cooks and we can spread it out a little bit more. And we want to close the lid to trap all that heat in and set a timer.
All right, Grill Master.
All right, let's get that chicken off. I think it's done. And let's shut this and let the
Keep them
veggies roast a
going?
little longer.
Okay. Almost time to eat.
Yum. Hey, look who's here.
Hey, hi, Graham.
Hi, Graham.
Hi! It looks as if I'm just in time.
You are. You came to eat.
Oh, it smells so good.
You don't have to help today.
Oh, great! I can just be a guest.
You can be a guest. Come on
Oh,
and sit
that's
down.
nice. That's nice.
All right, those veggies should be done.
Ooh.
Let's,
they look good.
Let's squeeze a lemon on the asparagus
Okay.
and a lime on the zucchini.
Just have to watch those seeds when we take it off.
You people can just eat all the chicken. I'll eat the asparagus.
All right, we can pull those veggies off the grill and you can kill the heat to the grill too as well.
All right, we are ready.
Marie, what's in the iced tea?
It is mint, my peppermint. Zach, it's black tea, green tea with peppermint.
Looks great.
Cool.
Graham, you want a piece of chicken?
Please. Thank you.
There you go. That tea is good.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Cheese is really good on the zucchini. You can put it on the asparagus too if you want.
Yep.
Put it on everything because
Yeah.
it's cheese. Wow.
Good job on the grill, girls.
That's a good recipe.
And we broke in the deck.
Here's to the new deck.
Cheers.
May you have many parties. Have you ever thought of traveling to an alternate universe?
Wow, or maybe grabbing a weapon to battle the undead.
Kalahari Resort has opened a virtual reality arena where adventures like hunting zombies and exploring gravity-defying worlds are waiting for you.
Virtual reality games is most likely you're familiar with, which is like the Samsung and all that, but this takes it a step forward. Instead of you staying in one area, you're pretty much moving in a whole empty room, playing different games. We have zombies and engineerium. Engineerium, you kind of like defying gravity, solving puzzles, and walking around. The zombies, you're just shooting zombies.
So which is the best gun to use?
I'll say the shotgun, because a lot of zombies come out. Close combat, so shotgun.
Is that the one with the pump?
Yes.
Pump and shoot. Pump and shoot. All the time. Just so we know, pump and shoot. I got it.
Guess we'll learn by fire.
Yeah, we're a little different than you guys. Our video game experience was Pac-Man.
Oh.
Yeah.
Before entering the virtual reality arena, it was time to load up our gear, including virtual reality goggles with special light sensors, a communications headset so we could stay in contact with our team members, and a multi-function zombie-killing gun.
There's a gun. Ooh.
Now I have a gun. That was
Me
interesting.
too. That was interesting. Wow.
We need to finish the fortification barriers ASAP.
I feel like most people, especially now, because of The Walking Dead, we have this need to kill zombies.
Yes.
Right?
Yep, over here we're gonna prepare you to kill zombies in real life. Nah, just kidding. But yeah, the zombies is a favorite game that we have. You see a lot of people who ask to play it.
Tim, you look very manly.
The IEDs you see around you have been prepped. Someone get up on the platforms and provide cover fire.
I'm getting up on the platform, so.
Oh, where? Okay.
Who's coming up? Nobody?
How did you go to the platform?
Keep elbow look sharp. Sightings of undead in your area. Keep them out of your safe zone at all costs.
Well, you helped me out because you guided me on the platform
Yes,
with
I
you
did.
on early
Yes,
on.
I did.
And you taught me a lot, so thank you.
Yes, no problem. It's my pleasure.
Aim for the head to take him down faster.
Aim for the head.
It's so like impacted and realistic. I just love it, honestly.
You love being in some other place.
Yeah,
really,
my
right?
favorite's the zombies because they get so close in your face, and it's literally like the craziest thing.
Did you scream at them? I did.
My body got intense. Like I got intense, I'm not even gonna lie.
It was a really fun experience because it was mainly different, and it's like something that a lot of people should really try.
The situation has deteriorated beyond control. Undead have breached our defenses. We are evacuating. Repeat, we are evacuating.
Honestly, it's just kind of like a surreal experience because like in the back of your mind, like you know it's not real, but like you're in there just having so much fun and so much things are going on that you don't know what to do with yourself half the time. So it's kind of just like everything just happening all at once.
Well done, team. You made it. I'll see you back at the RV.
You've probably seen some crazy stuff in there.
I see a lot of crazy stuff here and there, a lot of screaming, a lot of people running around. You know, it's a nice experience. I love to see people have fun in here, and it's something they should definitely try.
Marie and I don't play video games, so you shouldn't be surprised our number of zombie kills was much lower than the rest of our team. Marie finished with 75 zombie annihilations. For me, it was 62.
That was awesome. That was so much fun.
That was fun. Oh my God.
Good teamwork.
Yay! I didn't die at all.
Good team.
I'm glad we were with you guys because
Oh, yeah. So how did you think we did?
Not too bad for the first timers, not too bad. You got survived, you didn't die, I'll give you that.
I think I died at least once.
Oh,
Once?
I didn't die.
I think I did. I don't know. It's all red.
Oh no, that means you was close, but you survived.
Oh, okay.
You got out of there.
I thought I was for a little bit. I was like, I think I'm dead, but I think I'm only gonna be dead for 7 or 8 seconds, so that's okay.
Once the zombies were gone, it was off to paradise. This virtual reality game puts you in the middle of moving paths that challenge your perception of up and down.
What happens if you step off?
It'll send you somewhere else and it will be so hard to get you back.
And my knees are like they're about to buckle. Yeah. That's like so weird. Wow.
Engineering is fun. I kind of say that one's more of a virtual reality game because you know you got the whole the scenery, you're walking around, you're exploring the whole different universe basically.
World, yeah.
Are we going down or up? I don't know.
I think we're going down.
I don't think we're going down. I think we're going sideways. Where did you get those earrings?
I felt like I was gonna tip over.
Your laugh made me laugh, and I don't
My
know.
equilibrium was like off.
Yes, me too. Me too.
Are we supposed to be doing this?
This is.
It means we don't feel gravity. Yeah.
Your job is to keep the game going the way it's supposed to go, correct?
Yes, to keep the game going how it's supposed to, make sure everybody's safe doing whatever they have to do, and always have the most fun as possible.
Oh, the plants are growing upside down.
Or are we upside down?
Oh, maybe that's true. The palm trees are growing up.
Oh, here we go.
Definitely give it a go. Like, it's definitely a new experience, something that's like never been seen before, and one of the, more premier attractions that we have in this area. So, it's definitely something that you want to try.
How are we going down? It's up and down at the same time.
Oh yeah, we gotta wait for them now.
We have to get over there, but we have to jump. Oh, we gotta walk. I think.
We can walk.
Oh, there you go.
Not jump.
If you can't wait to try the virtual reality arena at Kalahari, we have good news. Just head over to our Facebook page, like the correct photo in our August album, and let us know if you want to explore an alternate universe or kill zombies. And you have a chance to win a pair of passes for a virtual reality game. Good luck.
Whatever you do, be the talk of the town. Well, they are still hard at work outside, but now we've.
She needs a drink.